Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I wanted to speak about one major reason why the divine masculine chooses a third party situation. Very often when you are in a situation with the divine masculine and he suddenly ghosts you after constant communication, or you are already in an in and out situation, you will notice that the divine masculine tends to go with other, people in a romantic situation. So, just for the sake of convenience, let's assume your divine masculine is a male, and what he ends up doing is that you will see he either has, a karmic partner, where he will be in a relationship with a woman, which will definitely make you very insecure, or you'll see that he will have multiple, partners. Like he will have one woman and then the other, then the other. And through social media, you can see that they're engaging with a lot of women. So often this happens in the case of divine masculines, that because of the energy that they have of, dominance, and just the energy of freedom, of independence, of self dependence, and all of that, they exude a very confident and attractive energy. So many women get attracted to them. A lot of the times the divine masculine are also very successful in the 3D world. So you will see that many women are attracted to them, and they stay in that comfortable energy of, interacting with all the women and loving all the attention that they get. It gives them an ego boost, right? But the main reason, after the divine masculine has met the divine feminine counterpart and realized that this is such a powerful, potent bond, it makes them so afraid. Why do they then not continue, to give to the divine feminine? Why do they not continue to be in that situation? And there are various reasons for it. Some common reasons you will hear are, of course, that that he has to release his karma before, twin flames can come together, and the divine masculine releases the karma in the 3D. And that's a correct reason for sure. Then another reason, that you will hear is that sometimes the divine masculine has to learn lessons through, karmic feminines, or going through all of this, or he's afraid of his own emotions. Another can be, that he is mirroring you, because when you are carrying wounds of abandonment, jealousy, comparison, etc., and I have made a separate video on this, how to heal those wounds that you feel when you see your divine masculine with a karmic partner, and I'll pin it in the first comment. If you've not seen that video, you should see it, and it's a very powerful healing video with tips with regards to how you come out of that situation. So those are also legitimate reasons as to why the divine masculine will often choose a third party. But one reason that is never really looked at or spoken of, so frequently and commonly, and it's a major reason, is that understand the basic polarity of the connection. So, what do I mean by this basic polarity? You know that the masculine energy is yang energy, it's the energy of giving. But the energy of giving is only going to be active when the energy of receiving is active. In geography, the wind systems, basically, the wind starts to flow from a high pressure area to a low pressure area. What that means is that wherever, let us say there is a lot of heat generated and the column of air above a heated land becomes light, it rises up and it causes, a low pressure area to form. This is where that emptiness in that area is what attracts the high pressure, winds. Like a movement of the wind comes in then from the high pressure area to the low pressure area. This is such basic physics as well. It operates on all levels, not just in geography. And this is exactly what happens in your relationship as well. What ends up happening is that because the divine feminine is not herself capable, able, and sometimes ready to receive the divine masculine love, energy, protection, etc., that the divine masculine then, who has the tendency to give, ends up giving it to other women, wherein the women have some receiving energy. And of course, that is not the most congruent or the most comfortable or the most compatible giving and receiving relationship that the divine masculine can have, right? I mean, that much is something that all of you would know if you're in the twin flame connection, that the most perfect giving and receiving energy can only happen between a twin flame couple, right? But because the divine feminine herself acts in a masculine energy, she does not get, receive, and she's not able to accept the love of the divine masculine. And this is something that the divine feminine will find very hard, to absorb, and very hard to really believe. She may struggle sometimes and say, no, I'm very ready to receive the love of my divine masculine. No. Again, go back to that, example of low pressure area. When you are very willing to receive the love of your divine masculine, you're in a space of emptiness. You're in a space of, complete surrender. You're in a state of, that it will happen, like that region with the low pressure area, know that the heavy wind will come because it has, nothing in it. There is a vacuum there. The suction force of the vacuum is what brings the masculine energy. So that only happens when the feminine stops obsessing over the divine masculine and shifts the focus back to herself. Secondly, and more importantly, the divine feminines so often have been conditioned since childhood to end up thinking that they do not deserve to receive love. And this is one of the biggest blocks that I had in my life, which I didn't even know I had. I mean, just sharing my own personal instance was that once during the time when my heart chakra was awakening, I had a lot of symptoms, and I suddenly developed low blood pressure because of some intense workshops and some intense work, that I was doing on myself, on my childhood wounds, etc. And at that time, the next day, I felt very, very sick, and I felt like I had to go to the hospital, just to get it all ruled out, because it did not seem like basic ascension. It just seemed like very medical reasons, that there's a drop in the blood pressure, etc. So when I, went to the doctor, I got my tests done, and everything came back normal. This feeling came inside of me even before I went to the doctor, that do I deserve to go to the doctor? And I was so shocked that, this was coming into my awareness, because suddenly I was afraid of people around me judging me. For instance, if I had to call my family for support, then how, they will say, you're not fit, or you're not like this, you're young, why are you like, you don't, exercise enough, and this and that. I just suddenly felt very afraid of the judgment that will come from my own, parents. And this was such a shock to me. I realized that I have been in a giving energy where I am more comfortable with giving to people. For instance, if somebody else had a health scare, then I would be the first person who would be very willing, happy, and very, in my natural energy to just give, to rush to their support, to make everything for everyone, to support, and, just to be in that space where I want to make life comfortable for others. The moment it happens that I need somebody to make life comfortable for me, and especially in the dynamic with my immediate family, since childhood, I feel ashamed, embarrassed, and I have this fear of being judged. And this, came onto me, and I realized I'm not in a receiving energy. I can't receive love and care because I feel very undeserving of it, and I feel like, um, I will be punished for receiving love by being judged. I will be abused, or, in some sense, not abused in the serious sense, but in the sense of, verbally insulted, that how can you, deserve this, or why do you want this care? So I'm just sharing this with you all just so that you can relate, if you can relate to this, and understand that so many times divine feminines find it 1,000 times more comfortable just to be in the energy of giving, and they feel deep down that they do not deserve love, respect, care, honor, that they do not deserve to receive all, that is the abundance of the universe. And somewhere they feel very, very afraid that they will be judged if they ask for it, if they ever need it. Like in this case, medically, I needed, some support. And I felt very afraid of asking for it, so much so that I felt like maybe I don't even need to go to the hospital. Maybe it's nothing, and maybe I'll just read up on the internet and let it go. But you see, this is the problem. This goes back to childhood. When you were a child, at some point in time, you were not in your receiving energy, and because of not being in that receiving energy, that is something that you have continued, and you have come into, a giving energy, which is why in your twin flame dynamic, you give love and support to your divine masculine. You're like, I am here for you, I want to do everything for you, tell me all your secrets, tell me what is plaguing you. Sometimes we offer them even financial support if they have financial struggles. We don't even think twice. We think, oh, they are us, we don't want to, hold back anything with them. We want to fix everything for them. If you go to their house, you may want to start cleaning their house for them. I mean, I've been in these situations, so this is what, I felt. I realized that so much of my energy with my divine masculine also has been in the giving energy, because naturally I have been in the giving energy and I have trouble in receiving. And one another sign you will see you have trouble in receiving is that if somebody does love you and they do give you care, like maybe someone in your family does, or in your friend circle, or in your past, you feel like you don't deserve it. You feel like that they are crazy to be giving you so much love and respect, and you run away from the love and respect and consideration that they show you. You think that you don't need to be fussed over, you know when in reality this is what the divine masculine energy wants to do. When you heal your receiving energy and you come into the realization that this is what my receiving energy is very imbalanced, it's not there at all. And why is it not there is because somewhere there are these blocks from my childhood. Let me now start working on releasing these blocks. You start to then shift into your natural feminine energy. If you are listening to this, most likely you are in the feminine energy, and feminine energy is the energy of yin, it is the energy of the empty cup, it is the energy of the low pressure, it is the energy of receiving. So, only when you shift into the energy of receiving, can your divine masculine then shift into the energy of giving. When you then, it is then that you give him the opportunity to come into his own wholeness of giving. And when he is into his healed giving self, because you are into your healed receiving self, he will not want to give to anyone else. Right now he's giving to random people, and his giving is also distorted because your receiving is distorted. Because you're not able to receive love, he's not able to give love where he wants to give love. So he finds it, that it's okay to maybe give love to karmic people who don't need so much of his love and attention. Or maybe he goes into very need based situations where he feels very attached to other women, where he thinks that he needs them in some sense because of some insecurity. He goes into a needy energy, and then out of that needy energy he starts giving. And remember how this has happened to you as well, divine feminines, because in so many relationships you would have also been in a needy energy, and because of the neediness to have someone around you, to keep that person around you, you would have overgiven, right? And if you really look, even now, if you look and you see why you still give, it is because of a sense of fear. It is because of a neediness. There is no other reason but that. All right. So this is a very powerful, a very, very, very potent realization, that I had uh, at the time when my heart chakra was healing and I was healing all of these wounds. And I just realized that because I'm not in a receiving energy, it is difficult for my divine masculine to be in the giving energy. And this is exactly why it is easy for him to give to other feminines and be with those people, because it's just safer for him. And it also reflects his neediness, because those are not wholesome relationships with karmic partners. Those are not relationships where the give and take is of a free nature. Those are just not those kinds of relationships, right? The most potent, the most powerful give and take that really can exist, which is the most natural give and take, is the kind of love that twin flames share between themselves. Everything else for them is distorted. It is a sign that the divine masculine still has a lot of work to do. And one last reminder is always that always bring the focus back to yourself. Whenever you see he's not doing something, he's not doing this, okay, it's his fault, it never is. It always is you. You are the mirror. You are the main object that the divine masculine is mirroring. So just look at them as the mirror. Why are they not giving to me? Am I able to receive? Am I ready to receive the unconditional love, support, and blessings and abundance that he can give me? Do I feel worthy of it? Do I somewhere have a problem of receiving love? Those are the questions you have to ask, and those are some deep questions. And if you need any support, with regards to if this is something that resonated with you, you feel like I can support you in receiving this, in healing this, in basically coming into, your divine feminine self, then you can definitely book a one-on-one session with me. My email address is given below. I'll be very happy to assist you. I'll see you in the next podcast video. I hope this was helpful. Take care. Bye bye.